everybody, Brian Kern, the Fishing Musician, back for another guitar lesson. Another Sunhouse tune today, but in my opinion, one of his best, the Mississippi Country Farm Blues. It's a 1930 recording, but just a killer guitar piece. So groovy, so syncopated, just an awesome guitar piece. So hopefully you will enjoy today's lesson. I would put this in the advanced category, so it might be a little challenging if you're just starting out, but you can decide for yourself. We won't be talking about a lot of technique, just really kind of talking about the tune. I assume if you're looking this up to learn it, you've probably been playing slide for quite some time already. So, yeah, we'll quit John here and get right into the lesson. It is an open G. I'm capoed on 4. That puts me in the key of B. If you are a open A player, just capo on 2. I'm pretty close to 440. I did tune by ear this morning, but I think we're pretty close. And 440 seems to match the, I got something running in the back here, seems to match the recording quite well, so you don't have to make any adjustments. So. Yeah, so in open G, if the capo wasn't there, we would have D, G, D, G, B, D. And we have the capo on, puts us in the key of B. So we'll dive right into the tune. I'll separate it into 2 parts. The slide part, basically the vocal line, and then that rhythm fill in between. So let's do the slide part first. This is what you hear in the intro, and this is basically what he continues to play throughout the piece. So as he's singing, you lose some of that guitar in the background, but essentially I believe he's just kind of playing the same thing that he does in the intro, which leads me to my usual disclaimer. I don't claim this to be 100% accurate to the original recording, but I think we're pretty close, at least close enough to get you into the song, learn some of the phrases, and kind of start to do your own thing with it. So here we go. First phrase, we start on the 2nd string of the 3rd fret to the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. So 3 to 2 to 3 on 3 to 4 on 5. Hit that twice. Slide back to 3, back into 5. Strike it one more time to finish. I am doing some muting behind the slide to make sure each note stands out from itself or by itself. I should also mention that these 2 strings, or these 2 frets, 3 and 2, you could also do on 6 and 7. So I could go. That's fine too. I seem to think that he's on the 2nd string, but it's an old recording, hard to tell. But that's where I like it. I like that sound. That's the first phrase. Again, that's 3rd string, 3rd fret, 2nd string. 2nd fret, 2nd string. 3rd fret, 3. 5th fret, 4 twice. Slide back, back in, strike it one more time. So real slow. Right? Good stopping point here. Pause the video, learn that phrase, play it with Sunhouse on the recording, then move on, right? That's the best way to do this. So moving on to the next phrase, we're on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string to the 5th fret of the 1st string twice, to the 3rd fret 1, open 1, to the 2nd string of 3. So that's the 2nd phrase. Again, that's 2 on 2, 5 on 1, 3 on 1, open 1, to 3 on 2. Right? Okay. So I'm going to play those back to back, and I'll kind of just reference the fill. I won't talk about it quite yet. We'll get to that in a little bit. So here's the first 2 phrases. 3, 4, and Okay, that brings us up to the last two. This one's a really long phrase. There's no fill in between, but I did separate it into two riffs. First one being this. It's a little long, but it's essentially at the tail end of it is a repeat of the first phrase. So we're starting back up on the 5th fret of the first string, twice, to the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So we go back and repeat those same two notes, just a little bit different phrasing. A little faster. Da, da. So we got da, 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 da. And again, that's the 5th fret 2, or 5th fret 1, 3rd fret 2. Real slow, we'd have da, 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 da. Then we trail off the same way as the first riff. 2 on 2, 3 on 3, 4 on 5. So real slow, I'll kind of count you in a little bit. 3, 4, and right. I know it's a little long, but not too bad. The final phrase, this time we are on the 3rd string of the 6th fret. We're gonna play the 6th fret, then slide into 7. So it's 6, 6 again, slide into 7, slide down to 3, all in one motion. See that? Right? Last part. Let's see. I gotta play it one phrase. Let me play it. Let's see. Yeah. So after you get to that 3rd fret 3rd string, we're gonna play the 5th fret on the 4th string twice. Kind of drift back to the 3rd fret, play it open, and then you got this in out. 5th fret again, down to 3, back in. So in, out, in. So let's look at that whole phrase. 3, 4. Right? And again, best thing to do, take each one of these licks, pause the video, work on the riff with the recording, listen to the recording, play the riff. Listen to the recording, play the riff, or try to play along with the recording. And by recording, I mean Sunhouse. And try and do that. So that's the melody phrase. That's the slide on the intro, right? So let's try all 4 of those phrases from the beginning. I'll lightly reference the fill so you kind of know where we are in reference to the original song. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? That's the slide part. So it's not too tough. Take it slow, relax with it, use the recording as much as you can. So now, let's talk about that fill. Tricky little bugger. It's not a lot going on here. It's just a matter of getting fluid with it and taking your time and getting relaxed. Listen to Sunhouse, try and emulate. Again, this is one part we could be off a little bit here. It's he plays it so fast, even slowing it down, it's kind of a little tough to really get a grasp on exactly what he's doing. But this is what I believe is going on. So the idea here is, in the beginning, he starts playing, you hear that rhythmic fill. but I believe that recording is kind of picking up in the middle of him already playing. So I'm going to start playing the fill. I'm going to show you the fill after the first melody phrase. So after this, that's where we're going to pick up this into the next phrase, right? So let's pretend, here we are, we just finished that first phrase. What I want you to do is kind of give it's a stamp, it's a kind of a pickup. You can be all muted, it could be just hitting the guitar, but you need some sort of percussive beat there after that lick. Da, 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 da. Got to have that there. That's where we're getting all this kind of groove from, right? So after you get that rhythm stamp, real quick, hit the open fifth string. So now we have this. Right? So let's try and put that at the tail end of the lick. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, one more time. 3, 4, and... Okay, after you play that thumb now, I want you to pick up the slide on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. Real staccato. You're going to knock it off right away. So now we have... So you don't even need a chord. It could be... Right? Just get groovy with it. I like doing the chord. But once I get it up to speed, it becomes more of just a percussion, more of that when I get it going up to speed. But you can start with a chord stamp to play it slow. Okay, let's try and put that at the end of the lick. Here we go. 3, 4, and... Real staccato. Then it repeats, right? This time we'll do the thumb, chord stamp, same slide thing. So we got end of the riff. Da, 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 da. See that? I hope that makes sense. I'm just going to play it slow. Again, from the lick, 3, 4. Right? That's the main fill. Then we get ready for the next lick. This is very important. You have to give this pickup, and that could be all strumming. But either way, it's kind of like a 1 and 2. I don't know exactly where it falls counting wise, but the way I do it is thumb down, fingers up, thumb down again. So you could all do fingers, but you have to have that kind of 1 and 2 before you start your next phrase. So, and then we would start phrase 2, right? Right? Let me show you how that sounds. Try and play with me, but listen close, and you'll hear that before that next phrase. Here we go. 3, 4, and... See? Right, now we're on to the third phrase, which brings us to a couple other little rhythmic things going on here that we have to get in to keep the groove flowing, right? So after the first time you play the 3rd fret on the 2nd string here, so again, this is the 3rd lick. another chord stamp. You could do a full chord, you could just do the thumb. However you feel it, either way, you kind of want it there. Again, it keeps that groove going. Then we're going to do it again after the next 5th fret on the 1st string. So we wind up with this. Da, 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 da. Right? I'm going to try that slow. It's a little tricky. 3, 4, and... Right? If that makes sense. Then we go into the last part. Same phrase as the beginning, right? So, da, 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 da. Okay, coming up to the last phrase. I want you to do an up and up with the fingers off the 3rd string and down with the thumb. Or you could go down with the thumb off the 4th string. But this works easier for me. And then the last phrase. Back to. And that's the whole piece, right? So 2 important takeaways there is that down, up, down before each phrase and trying to get in this those little rhythm stamps, those little rhythm fills or chord fills in between those phrases. Same thing here. And that's a straight 8th note. Watch out for doing, you don't want to get that shuffle thing going. Straight 8th note. Let's see. So that's the fill with the melody lines. Let's put that all together. I'm going to try and play really slow. Remember, after a phrase, you got that chord before you kind of do the slide work. Here we go. 1, starting right from the 1st phrase. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one time through, okay? So that in a nutshell is the Mississippi Country Farm Blues. Now, as you get used to things and get those moves under your fingers, try it slow like that. It is one of those things where speed gives you some of that groove, but you don't have to play it as fast as Sunhouse. Sunhouse, I believe, is like over 100 beats per minute. But if you get that medium tempo going, that's when you'll start to feel that fill. And just let that hand go. Don't worry about being just like Sunhouse. The main thing, you want to be groovy. That's the whole deal. That's why it makes that song so cool, is it's groovy. And if you can accomplish that, whether it's exactly like Sunhouse or a little bit different, kind of in your own mind, in your own feel, that's all that really matters, you know. So you can hear as you increase the tempo. He's up there, right? You know, but take your time. Don't be in a hurry, as usual, right? All right, guys. Well, hey, that wraps up another one for us, and thank you all so much, and I hope you enjoyed that lesson. Please do hit like and subscribe. I would love it. Hit the notification, and we'll catch you on down the road. Thanks, guys.